Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a Monday night's edition of Paranormal Question Day. We'll be right back right after a short intro, and I mean short. And we are back. So tonight we have a really interesting show. Once again, we're going to be talking about the Waushara County Historical Museum in Wautoma, Wisconsin. That is where Ed Gein was held for 4 days and 4 nights, and an additional night, I believe, down the road. And tonight we have special guests with us. So over here, we have Michelle Jakubowski, and then we have down below me, we have Scott Bowser, and then to the corner, we have Lori Rovney, which is the caretaker of the museum itself. So hopefully everybody's had a great Monday. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Good.
Awesome.
Good deal, good deal. Let's see here. We got our first guest already. Or I should say, comment. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the show. First time I think I've seen you, Tara. I think Tara. Yeah, Tara. Don't mind me. I'm using my phone to read the names. It's tiny print. Anyhow, Lori, would you like to start real quick and let people know what y'all do and talk a little bit about the museum itself?
Well, I am the curator of the Waushara County Historical Museum. I'm the one that opens up and lets people tour and takes them around, and I have like 30 other little jobs that I try to do once in a while.
Well, I mean, it's a big place, so I mean, you got your job cut out over there.
Yeah. Most of the time, it's a lot of touring.
Yeah, I suppose. There's a lot of people come in with, antiques and stuff and want to donate to the museum every once in a while.
Yes, I always have a lot of that coming in.
So do you feel with the antiques that come into that place, do you feel that there's energy that comes along with it to kind of help build the location itself?
Oh, yes. Yes. There's definitely energy that comes in with some of the items.
Okay. That's cool. I mean, it really gives a good mixture of different spirits that can be roaming around in that place too.
Right.
So, all right. We will go with Scott here. If you want to let people know about you and what ties you in with the museum.
Hello, I wrote 2 books on Ed Gein. They're both available at the museum. And I think what sets my book apart from other books is the fact that I did the research on the women that he dug up. So people can actually know these people are real people, real women, housewives, and such. And I have a lot of the court records inside the books, and plus his records from Mendota when he was at the mental institution. And they are available at the museum. They're on Amazon, they're on eBay, plus it's on Barnes and Noble. But
Go ahead.
That's it.
Okay. And you also do a lot of the other like historian stuff, part of the museum itself, correct?
Yes and no.
Okay. And Michelle, you want to tell people what your abilities are and paranormal investigator and stuff like that?
Sure. My ability, thought. Basically, I suppose.
Oh, it's starting to cut out again.
Yep.
Well, stop talking.
I wasn't. So, yeah, she has, for those that were hopefully you could understand what she was trying to say. She has mediumship skills, and she's working with Charlie from BB3 TV with that, and very good at being a paranormal investigator, and also with her mediumship too, which is pretty ironic with the spirit boxes that that we use today, and it was very interesting. So
Yeah, we like to use Michelle. Go stand in that room. Tell me if we should work there or not.
well, man, her audio is just not working tonight for some reason. I don't know. It was working not too long ago. So let's go and talk about the attic a little bit. So because that was kind of like the first spot where we started, and obviously I try to introduce you guys for the first live and blacked out for some reason, which is kind of weird. Michelle can contest that. It's like every time she gets to with video and stuff, things black out. So Scott, you want to start off a little bit about the attic and how it started all going? And
Well, the best part of the attic was when Michelle and I seen a ball roll across the rug. That was amazing. Plus the cold feelings I got on my left arm and the K2 meter going off. That was pretty amazing. So we had pretty good activity. Hearing noises up there.
yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah.
Michelle, you want to see if we could get your audio to want to say something a little bit more about the attic?
Yeah, I think it was pretty quiet at first. And then it just really picked up with energy. And it was intense. I had to switch chairs with Marsha because I just felt really uneasy. But I was really hoping to get those cat balls to move up there. But seeing a different ball, like a real ball, move across the floor was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I never had that happen to us up there yet. But that was the first time experiencing that. That was pretty cool. And it came a long ways, didn't it?
I never seen it going up in the attic. I don't know where it came from.
It was by my feet originally before I moved seats.
Okay.
So it was over by that chair where Marsha was sitting.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it was pretty neat too that I was really picking up the name Adam. And then I know it got downstairs and then it finally, said it on the voice box, which was pretty nice too. The validation is what I did.
Yeah, that was very interesting. That was very interesting. And also, while we were up there, Lori, you had the spirit talker, because we all used the spirit talker that night. And so as we were asking questions upstairs in the attic, you were saying that you were getting some of the answers.
Yes. Yeah, Dee Dee and I were sitting downstairs, and she had your live stream on hers, and I had the spirit talker. And every time you guys would ask a question, it would answer it on our spirit talker. And
Wow.
That was so neat.
And how often do you see when you watching Facebook Lives and have that happen? With someone being outside versus you're in the inside.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's very seldom do I stay in. So that was kind of a neat thing.
Right. And that's one to note too. The other thing when I was talking to Scott the other day is I noticed that there's a trend up in the attic. So it's kind of like when you're up there, you got to be up there for like 20 minutes or so. So like it's like a buildup of energy. And then all of a sudden it just goes boom for the next half hour, however long. Usually it's been 30 minutes to 35 minutes. The last two times I was up there, it just went crazy. So, those of you that come to the museum, and you want to go up and investigate the attic, that's something that's to think about. Is that when you're up there, just ask questions, ask for devices to go off, and just give it about 20 minutes or so, and then you'll start to have things kick in. And Michelle, she was I think the first one that started to feel things going on. You want to speak about that, Michelle?
Oh yeah, talking with the attic.
Oh, she froze.
No, she's still there.
Are we still talking about the attic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like I said before, it was really quiet. And then also I could just feel this energy like standing behind me, and almost like I could almost feel it breathing on me. And it just made me really uncomfortable. That's why I moved. But yeah, I think there was something definitely up there, definitely more than one. But yeah, it took a little bit. It definitely took a little bit for them to like go up the stairs with us. But I definitely would say there was multiple up there, and I definitely say it was a mixture of both of men and female.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, at one point we were asking like how many people or female spirits are up there, and we got a 4 out of that.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. The other part too is that Bernice came through the spirit box. So, and for those of you who don't know who Bernice is, that was the last victim from Ed Gein. So, and I found that ironic. So now I have to go through the rest of those names and to see where they match up with other parts of that. Because there was a couple names that we didn't get before that actually came on. So, what else? So the cat balls really did not go off hardly at all. Maybe was it once or not even at all?
Not at all, I don't think.
Not at all.
Okay.
No.
So that was kind of a downer on that part, but once they go off, I mean, they're a good tool to use in the field, but like I said, they don't work on like on command, but once they work, and it's great. And then, so Scott was getting his K2 was just going absolutely nuts in that place.
It was.
I've never seen a K2 go off as much as that went off in the attic. I mean, it was just constant. And then, what else? Oh, yeah. So I actually went through the attic part for EVPs. And so there's a lot of knocks and taps and all that stuff while we were up there. We were up there for about 53 minutes. And so the one EVP that I came across that I will play on here now. And let's say come up with it. So with this EVP, this is where the spot where where Scott was feeling the cold air all around him and stuff, and feeling it, thought that something was in front of him. And so I asked, is anyone in front of Scott right now? And then I'll play it and let you hear what it said. Are you standing next to Scott here? So, can you make that out pretty good, Lori?
No.
You got it. It said no. Were you able to hear it, Chris? Or, sorry, Scott?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay. How about you, Michelle? Were you able to hear it?
Yes.
Okay. I'll play it for you one more time, Lori. Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Are you standing next to Scott here? No.
Yep, I heard that.
Okay. So that was a pretty trippy, getting an EVP like that, like direct on, and
Right.
it's so funny that he said no right after it. So, hey, Brian, how you doing? So, yeah, that was one of the EVPs I did catch. So, with you guys hearing it plain as day, and that's what we call a Class A EVP. For those that want to know what a B and C is those are kind of like, yeah, absolutely clear. And a B and C is kind of like that the EVP is there, but it's a lot harder to hear what it is. So it's kind of like you have to have A and C headphones on because you won't be able to hear it through this unless I amplify it. But yay! How you doing? So, but yeah, that was quite interesting with that part. And then towards the end, it was Michelle. I was like, man, are we almost done? Because I'm hungry. And what did we all smell?
Popcorn.
Well, okay,
I was hungry too.
Well,
I
on
had
the voice box, it's something about going. And then Darren said, where you're going. And I said, well, I don't know where I'm going, but quick trip because I'm hungry. And then
Right.
like 2 minutes later, I'm like, that, but I smell food. And it was,
Yeah, and then I turned around and I was like, because you have the camera up there, right? Still?
yeah.
And I'm like, Lori, quit eating popcorn.
I know Dee Dee and I were dying laughing because we were eating popcorn.
It's just like me when I watch a Facebook Live. It's like, okay, I got the nachos, I got the soda. All right, I'm ready to go, But yeah, that was pretty interesting. Give me a second here. I just gotta remind my boy he's gotta. Shh, he's too loud in the other room. Give me a minute here.
Now we can all talk about Darren.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, his internet goes in and out every now and then too. I can't always hear him. He cuts out. So. Now we have to talk about Michelle.
All right, I'm back.
Well, we talked about you. Now we have to talk about Michelle. And now we have helper. Michelle has changed.
Hi. So we have a question here. So Tara is wondering if you do readings, Michelle.
Yes. I do readings.
And she's really good at it, too.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe at some point, just maybe message her if she. Do you take in messages for readings?
Yeah, I know Tara. Hey, Tara, how you doing?
Ah, okay. Well, there you go. Now you can get a reading there. She's pretty good. Pretty good. She hasn't do me yet, so.
I'll get to it. Don't worry. Started.
Awesome.
All right, Tara, sounds good.
Hey, Penny, how you doing? So, now we're starting to flood in here. So the next spot, I think Scott, you went to. She went bye. Oh, there she is. So I think the next spot, Scott, you went and did a solo in, what was it? The upstairs? upstairs jail.
Upstairs. Yeah.
Upstairs in the 50s room.
Yeah. You want to tell people about that and how that all went? And
When I first got up there, there was a real heaviness inside the off. Then after I got my head back together, I went in there, sat down, and my K2 meter just went nuts. And my phone wasn't near it or nothing. So wasn't catching no voices or no noises. So, but the K2 meter was going off really well. But
did you get any EVPs out of that at all that you came across, or not really?
not at all.
Not at all. Okay. And so, Michelle, you're on the opposite side of the Upper Side Jail, and you want to explain how that kind of went for you?
Yeah, I was the photography jail cell, and which is like the far right corner, and I was there for like 5 minutes, but I was feeling very overwhelmed because he was saying he was feeling dizzy, and I checked that spot out. It was pretty bad. Like he's not the first person to ever say that in that spot. Someone else in a different group has said the same thing. And so something definitely strong is there. But I also, when I was in my cell, I had to leave because I was just overwhelmed. And the cell that's across from Scott, and I just got an instant headache. It was just so powerful. And so I'm like, Scott, you good? I'm going to go downstairs.
Yeah. And going downstairs, being a lady in that place, going on the downstairs jail part is the part where a man likes to push ladies down the stairs. So, initially, afraid that someone will push you and stuff like that. So, I think next time, like I said before, we're going to do a daytime investigation and see how that all turns and how different it is from the nighttime. So,
yeah, women weren't allowed in the upstairs jail cell.
Right.
So
I just felt it.
Yeah. And all the women that go up there have experienced something.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I think, okay, so at that point, while you two were up in the upper part of the jail, me and Marsha were actually in the bedroom, like in line where the school room is. And so for some reason, upstairs, the... Oh, yeah, Alcatraz is. Yeah, absolutely. I want to get there. That was interesting because when we were up there talking, it wasn't all that, like, intuitive to start. Like I said, I haven't gotten close to the EVP sessions of those yet, so once I get those, then I can play them for you guys. Yeah, Marsha was in tune. She was talking to spirits. They're trying to figure out why it wasn't letting Lori come upstairs, because that was one of the trouble spots for Lori. Same thing with the school part of the building. And I don't know. It got kind of weird. I thought at one point, because I had to hold actually the camera or my phone because my tablet wasn't working for a reason, because of the internet kind of bumped me out on that tablet. But on the back, on two of these walls, okay, there are old dresses, way back from the 30s and 40s.
Yeah,
Maybe older.
maybe older. Yeah.
Okay, and with that, it was. Oh, that's cool.
Because right next to the closet is a 1920s wedding dress.
Right. And well, along that wall, the whole long wall width of dresses, I was backing up into them because that way, so I could get the full shot of the room with her in it and talking and stuff. And at one point, I thought that one of the dresses tried to hook it. The arm was trying to hook around the side of my waist. It was kind of weird. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, did this dress like try to, corral me or something? It was weird. So then I kind of moved off to the side, and then I moved back by the door because when we first got in there, the entrance of the door of the bedroom, she stood in that doorway and she caught a cold spot right away. So that was a good start off. But then after that, I stood next to it, and I started feeling cold spots, and then we started hearing noises. And I'm like, okay, is this like downstairs or is this somewhere in the building? But the kitchen is just on the other side of that bedroom. And I swear I was hearing a bunch of noises going in the kitchen. So I ended up moving, giving it a few minutes. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna walk into the kitchen and see if I can catch something, and it's pitch black. I mean, I don't have a flashlight with me. I'm just kind of walking, feeling my way through. That's how the blind do it, anyway. And then Michelle was coming up the stairs, and she had her flashlight. So I'm like, hey, come with me. Let's go shine your flashlight in the kitchen and see if we can find anything. And she got next to me, and we started moving, and I tried to pan with her flashlight, but it went black again. So I don't know. I didn't get that. I mean, because we were in there, I could see it, with the flashlight and stuff. So there's no reason why that flashlight could not view on the live stream. So then we turned and made our back way into the bedroom. And so Michelle stayed on one side of the closet, or I'm sorry, the opening of the door there. And my wife was walking around the room, and she turned around and she freaked out because she didn't see Michelle stand right next to me. And so that scared the shit out of her. But other than that, then things kind of, I don't know, would you say kind of progressed a little bit, Michelle?
Not upstairs. I think it was right before I came down to the military room. Like, I was getting really active cat balls, and then you saw it once you got down there.
Yeah, after I kicked them out 4 times because I didn't see them. But yeah, she decided to say, well, let's get out of the bedroom, and we did as much as we could to try and soften the core of that room, so then that way maybe Laura can go up there and not have any problems. So have you been up?
I have to do tomorrow.
Right. So hopefully we kind of changed the tie of the room there for you, and you're able to go up there.
Yeah.
And so so then my wife decided to do a solo in the kitchen. And then that's when me and Michelle went down into the military room. I believe, Scott, you were in the jail part, right? Still?
I was in Edgeen's jail. So
Okay. You want to talk about what was going on at Edgeen's jail before we talk about the military spot?
I wasn't really getting a lot in there. I had his cabinet open up where his knife, and I put a grid light in there. I got a rim pot on the floor in front of it in case I got something. A2 lit up about halfway. I really didn't hear nothing except for you guys walking.
Oh, okay.
That's about the only activity I got.
Okay. Is it really loud now, audibly, walking, or is it kind of faintly?
It was pretty loud. I could hear you guys going upstairs.
Okay. So that's something we would have to note when we go back next time. To say, hey, we're upstairs, and that way it doesn't flood with your recorder and stuff. So, let's see. Okay, so when she was in the kitchen doing a solo, she got some weird things on the box that spit out at her, and one of them was witch and pagan and stuff like that. So she didn't know why it was spitting out witch and pagan. And so, Michelle, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah, when you mentioned that to me, it took me by surprise because I did it quite a while ago, and I had the exact same experience. My kids don't
That's okay.
But yeah, I had the exact same experience. So when you said that, it's like, wow, like, is this just starting to become a trend to be called a witch? And I don't know, why I'm being called that because I don't practice witchcraft or anything.
Yeah. It's actually struck me kind of strange too. In fact, that you mentioned to me was it the very next day that you and your mom have relations, right, in Salem?
Yes, we do.
Okay. And one of the witches that they have relations with actually was hung. So that I think is why it spit out witch and pagan, because it kind of got the feel of your background and stuff. So with your uh, family tree, so to speak. So that was interesting. Uh-oh. So anyhow,
The boys are helping.
yep, the boys are out.
They are just trouble today.
Not happy boys.
Oh, not
That's okay. So now, when we were in the military room, now you were saying that okay, you had some stuff because I was kind of a little late to the game getting down there.
yeah.
So you were saying that you were getting activity down there.
I was. I also felt my initial feeling was an overwhelming sense, and so I was speaking to spirit. Asking why? Why are you like? What brings you here? Like, is it the stuff that's in this room? And also the cat balls just were all flat. I didn't want to put a foot in front of me, so I'm like, "Oh, you're standing in front of me," and I had the voice box in my. Then you walked in, got distracted, balls, but um, we picked back up, and that's when the little kid in there. I think it was 8, little boy that was 8. And
Mm-hmm.
but I feel when I'm in that room, I can feel like the sense of the effect that soldiers have to go through. I have back there, so I like
Power through it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting. And like I said, when I walked in there, I didn't know where she had the cat balls placed, and it was. I kicked this one, I think, 3 different times, and I ended up having to go way in a corner to pull it out of there. And I'm like, oh, geez, cobwebs all over my face and stuff because I didn't want to lose the cat ball. But yeah, it went off a couple of times. I had the once I saw Scott have his laser grid out in the jail. I was like, So I'm gonna pull mine out, and mine wasn't working too great, but I managed to get it working. So I had it up against the opposite, like where the doorway is to get in, and I didn't get nothing walking through there. I had a red and a green flashlight for a yes and no, and see if I could get a yes and no out of it, which really nothing came out of that either. And those are the push buttons; like they got to really push the button in the back. I don't make it easy for them with the flashlights because they have the ones where you just kind of twist it off and see if they can twist it back on. I don't go that route. So let's see. Trying to think what we did after that. Did we go anywhere else after that? The 4 of us, or did we that kind of led up to where at that point I think. Oh wait, yes. Then we went up to the schoolroom. That's right. We went up to the schoolroom. And at that point, I think Scott, you were ready to head out, correct?
Yeah, I did.
So, and there I had the plasma ball, and I'll get that back out there when we do it again. I think that is a good useful tool to try and draw energy in because it's such a wide base energy of electricity. So, and I think it pulls spirits in, but I'm trying to get them to touch that thing. I think if we can get that to work, man, that'd be awesome.
amazing. Yeah.
And then, so we got in there, and then Michelle had the 3 cat balls lined up outside down the hallway to see if she can get one to go off and the other one to go on, and, you know, kind of opposite or all 3 at the same time. Which I don't think she... Did you get any of those cat balls to go off in the hallway?
No, I did not.
Okay. So then she came in the schoolhouse along with my wife, and so we sat in there and just tried to, like I said, get Spirit Talker out, and just that was actually, I think, one of the last lives I did that night because it was just kind of going crazy with the internet and stuff. But yeah, I it was interesting. We didn't get much out of the plasma ball that night, but who's to say? You know, keep trying until you get something work. And it was kind of quiet. Did you think it was pretty quiet, Michelle?
I did. It was actually, I know when I was sitting out in the hallway, I kept getting the word drained on the EVP or the voice box. And I never really thought anything of it. I was sitting in the schoolroom, and the AC was on behind me. I turned it off because of the sound.
Right.
I fell asleep. Like, I felt unbelievably tired. I felt like whoever was in that but I really schoolroom. There could have been stuff in there, but I was just so out of it.
Okay. Yeah. What'd you think, Lori, of that session that we were doing?
I don't know. I don't think I really paid much attention after a while.
Okay. Yeah, because that was what...
I was tired. I went downstairs to work.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I think at that point, I think Dee Dee left early on, I believe.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, at that point, I mean, it was... like I said, we were trying to get the schoolroom to not be so
overwhelming,
and yourself able to get up there. And tomorrow, hopefully, that has all changed, and you know, you're able to go upstairs for a while at least until maybe your next spot that's having a hard time.
Yeah.
So after that session there in the schoolroom, and then at that point, I think Michelle, you left. Because you were pretty tired. So then she left. I think it was at least 12:30, maybe 12:40 when you left.
Yeah.
And then at that point, me and Marsha was like, okay, let's go try and do the Estes method down in Ed Gein's jail cell. And this was a really interesting session that we had. And this one kind of floored me a little bit because, not to mention, we had her going because she's the one that's sitting in the jail cell and having the earphones on and the spirit box going. At that point, I had necrophonics going, and so that way it was spitting out words and what she could make out. What freaked her out the most is that Ed kept on coming through, like Ed, and all sorts of different words like kill, and it was kind of a dark session in a way. And then I had a thermal imager at the same time going, so I was facing towards the hallway where you go up the stairs to the upper part of the jail, and didn't really catch nothing on the thermal. And then I turned it slowly so that way if I ever put it on Facebook so people can watch it, I turned it towards her in the jail part. So now you can see her heat signature in the jail. And then you have in the background, which is so funny because you got the silhouette of Ed Gein in the back, in the cardboard cutout. It did an outline of the cardboard cutout, and it was in blue.
That's wild.
So, what's that?
That's wild.
Yeah, I'll send you that video if I can. And at that point, I think we were just, like I said, we were trying to get Ed to come out and talk a little bit. We were talking maybe Carl to come out. And at that one point, we were talking about Augusta. So when I had the camera, the thermal camera on her, I'm like, hey, do you want to go and sit next to Marcia on a bench and see if you can, put your arm around her or whatever, or do whatever just to kind of get that heat signature from them. You know what I mean? And I didn't really get that, but then all of a sudden, about 20 minutes after she was in the SS method, she started coughing and coughing and coughing and coughing. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Because she was fine all night. She wasn't coughing until she got in that cell. And I went on a few minutes longer. I think we were in there maybe half or 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm like, we're going to cut it. So, because the way she was coughing, I'm like, something ain't right here. So, I went to tap her to let her know, and she freaked out because she didn't know what was tapping her. Of course, because she's so in tune of the spirit box going. And I was like, what's going on? I says, you're coughing like crazy. She goes, I don't know. I don't know what's going on because I was fine all night. You knew I was fine all night. Yeah. So at this point, I think when we started talking with Augusta and trying to get her attention,
yeah,
I think she started choking her.
Yep.
Because she mentioned to you that she felt like she was getting choked.
Yes.
So that floored me. What do you make of that, Scott?
Yeah, it sounds like something you'd do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't a nice person.
Hey, Jing. Jing is from Indonesia. Hopefully I say that correctly. Thank you for coming into the show tonight. And
she plays piano beautifully.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah. So what do you think? What should we do different with that, Scott, you think, next time around?
I'd challenge her a little bit. She's going to be pretty active in there. All over, actually. So, definitely challenge her.
You think she'll try and choke one of us if we're sitting in there?
One way to find out.
Scott's volunteering.
Bring it
well,
on.
I mean, first and foremost, I mean, we're all respectful for the spirits that are there. We don't taunt.
No.
And stuff like that. And if we do any like provoking, it's just like tactfully and nothing, like shouting obscenities to them and say, hey, come on and fucking show me yourself. We don't do that stuff. Yeah. So that's a one way to get yourself hurt. And I know that Michelle would agree. So. But other than that,
and it leaves bad feelings for us workers when we have to go in there.
Right. I mean, you're the last person to go in there after we leave.
Yeah.
And, the way how you conduct your investigation at these locations is now you got to start thinking about the next group that comes in and what they're going to experience.
Right.
So, other than that, I mean, overall, what did you think of the investigation, Scott?
I thought it was amazing. I think just seeing that ball roll toward us was pretty amazing. The cold feeling I left Carmen.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely do it again.
I don't even know how a ball got up there.
Oh, it was a dollar. That moved.
I don't know. I would think
there's a doll in the truck. I knew.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know about the ball.
Well, I mean, I think maybe previous investigators probably, like maybe Mike and Nate put it in there, maybe.
I don't know.
But other than that, I mean, was that ball like in the child's room? Maybe
No, we didn't have. We've
you
never
didn't
had
have one
a
at
ball
all.
there.
Okay, so someone must have brought one in then.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they usually tell me. So
well, they
I
do.
was surprised to hear that there was a ball up there.
Okay. So the next time I think, okay, so hopefully tomorrow when you go, that, like I said, the schoolroom and the bedroom are safe and free to go into. So we did not really touch on the child's room, which is pretty active.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe do another session up in the attic because that's like one of the real hot spots in the whole location, I think. Next to Ed Gein's cell.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I think
we kept getting the word cave
yes, and then Dee Dee was mentioning something about that.
in the attic behind the Christmas decorations. Well, they'll be out of there the next time you come. But there is a hole in the brick to go above the jail cell. So it's like a cave to go in to the roof of the jail cell.
Interesting.
So next time we'll send you through the cave.
Yeah, right? If I'm thin enough to get in there.
Oh, it's a big hole. You can get through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. But then she also said there was a lot of relation with the last name Cave as well, right?
Yes. I like my theory better.
Okay. And we lost Michelle.
Well, kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, is there any like equipment that you want me to bring next time that we did not have, Scott?
Well, I think we pretty much had a lot with us. I mean,
Now we lost Michelle.
Yeah, now we lost her.
gone.
Okay. I did. She did mention to me before, it's like, can I throw out a suggestion? I said, sure. Well, what's the suggestion? She goes, I think we should get walkie-talkies. And I thought, well, shit, yeah. I've always wanted to get walkie-talkies anyway because, you just never know when you're in a huge location and you're doing a solo by yourself that, at some time you might get yourself in trouble or you need someone to come upstairs right away. So I did some looking and I did get some walkie-talkies. So they're Amazon's best on the list. So yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
you got to keep them away from the K2 meters and stuff. They do set them off.
Yep. K2 and some other devices too. Well, REM pods, yes, REM pods. If you're on the same channel, like they will set off a REM pod. I've noticed that firsthand at Melbourne, which I thought, oh shit, yeah, I got something going. No, I do not, because I was playing with it.
Yeah.
But the ones I picked up, I'll send you the link, Scott, which ones I picked up. But amazing enough, they were not even $60.
Yeah,
and I'm getting 4 walkie-talkies.
Yep.
Scott, you have walkie-talkies, don't you?
Yeah, I got 4 of them myself. Probably the same ones.
Yeah, the ones I picked up, they have a light on them, like a flashlight.
Mine don't.
So, and microphone options. I think they're good for 3 to 5 hours, I want to say.
Okay.
For use. And they're long distance. So,
good.
So we'll see how they work. I'll be getting them Saturday. But other than that, overall, I thought this was awesome. And to investigate with new people that I had investigated for, I thought it was very cohesive, and I think we stuck together pretty well.
Yep, yeah, we did.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
So, any last thoughts here about the investigation that you want to bring out at all?
Let's go do it again.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you definitely got to try a daytime one.
Yeah, I think that would be that would be the next one that we'll do. We'll set that up for a Saturday.
Yeah.
What time would you prefer? Like 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock, or would you rather have it?
No, that's fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
Scott, could you get up that early?
I'll be there at 5 if you want.
Okay, I am not going to be there at 5.
No issue.
Yeah, I'll be up.
7 o'clock's my earliest.
There you
Yeah,
go.
weekends is usually I'm not up until like frickin' 11, but
Yeah.
but that's just me. But when you start talking about paranormal investigations, I'm up. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you're ready.
So, so Scott, do you have a website that people could go check out your books and you
Actually,
know?
don't have a website yet. I mean, like I was saying, they're on Amazon. They're at the museum. They're at Barnes and Noble. And
Yeah,
pretty
the
much,
ones at the museum are signed
Okay.
Yeah.
by the author.
that'd be me. Plus, I got them on eBay. They're signed.
And do you have anything upcoming as far as writing another novel or?
I'm actually going to write the screenplay to the book. I'm very close to starting it probably this month. Hopefully, it'll be done by spring. And we'll
Awesome. Do you have the titles of your book just for those that want to know what titles to go look for?
The first one's called Geen. That one's got all the information about the women that he dug up. The other one's just a traveler's guide to Ed Geen, which basically gives you directions to all the spots.
Okay.
Doing good.
Awesome. Lori, do you want to add anything? As far as like getting a hold of you guys for getting in for investigations, who to go through, stuff like that.
Any investigators have to go through We Are Paranormal. We don't handle it in-house, but they'll set it up for you.
Okay.
So,
Alrighty. Well, I think tonight was an awesome episode. I wish Michelle was here to, talk a little more about some stuff, but yeah, that's how kids are, right?
yeah. Yeah, and when you got twin boys, it's definitely rough.
Double trouble.
Yes. That's for sure.
All right. Well, I think, like I said, for those of you that are just joining, we'll have, hey, how you doing, Dan? How you doing? Welcome to the show. We'll have you guys on again. I think this will be a good recurring thing as the more we do. And also I did mention that, to Michelle, because of her mediumship and stuff like that, because the museum is more home for her, so that way she can brush up on all her stuff from learning from Charlie.
Right.
I think, because I asked her, I said, do you think the daytime investigation would be different for you? Would it be more easier for you? And she said, most definitely, I think it would be easier for me to tune in to more of my mediumship. And I'm thinking, Scott, how far away are you from Broadhead?
I have no clue, to be honest with you. I don't know where it is.
Okay. It's just a little bit down below Janesville.
Probably about an hour.
Okay. So he's got a manor there in Broadhead. It's a schoolhouse. It's a 60,000 square foot schoolhouse. 3 levels. It's got Indian burial mounds on it. So I was thinking that later on after, because we're going to keep going back and forth between the museum and other locations as well. Because museum is home for me too. So,
Definitely for me.
right. Definitely for you, because you're there once a week. I was thinking maybe we could test, and maybe if you could get a ride, maybe Lori could go along with you.
Mm-hmm.
And bring
Down to
Lori
Broadhead? Yeah.
down to Broadhead.
I
then-
love Broadhead.
It's a neat location.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill's got a great one. Ron too. So I was thinking once we do the daytime investigation, at some point, we'll make once the weather. I think after that point, I think the weather is going to start getting a little choppy because I don't want people traveling during the wintertime.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe April, May, we could head
When it
down
gets a
to,
little nicer, yeah.
yeah, and we could head down to Broadhead and investigate that overnight.
Sure.
Yep.
So, and Bill's got places he can sleep. He's got beds.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
And electric.
and electric, yep. And then by that time, I would think that, let's see, he's going to have Wi-Fi up, I think, by the time we get down there.
Yep.
Well, I'm going there on the 15th, but I don't know if you'll have the Wi-Fi then. He's got that big Paracon actually coming up in April. So
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. A lot of big names going to be in there. What else? And I think maybe he might have toilets working by then. Well, toilets are working. It's just you got to dump water right now.
Got
They
it.
have flush. But at that point, they might have them all working correctly at that point. So with that, we are, I'd say, close to the top of the hour, aren't we? Yep, get close to the top of the hour. So, let's see what else we got going here. Don't mind me. I just got to see. There you go. Yep, love Broadhead. Absolutely. Yes, that Paracon's gonna be good. I'm hoping to get there myself. I think that Scott, you'll like that. You've been to Paracons before, right, Scott?
Not at all. First time.
Not at all, really. That would be a good one for a first time.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check that out. I think you'll have a lot of fun at those Paracons. Get to meet a lot of the other investigators like Dan. I think Dan's going to be there as well. He'll have a booth and table. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. I believe, I don't know who else he's going to be there. I think a lot of people from Paraflix are going to be there. But I might be wrong with that too, though. I don't want to throw that out there. Disclaimer.
Yeah.
So, yep, it'll be there. Okay. So, if you don't know who Dan Norvo is, check him out on Expedition Entity on Paraflix. He also goes by Ghost Hunter Dan too on Facebook. So awesome people. Yep. Him and Larry, they're great people. Okay. And actually, Dan's the one that Dan and Larry are the ones that want to come up to Wautoma and possibly shoot an episode. So
awesome.
So with that, I'll see if Dan's got any other more thoughts before we sign off. He's probably like, "You asshole! Don't say anything." Sorry, Dan. Cat's out of the bag. But it's a future episode that they're looking at.
Yeah.
Other than that, let's give a... There we go. I always want to get that last comment out there because I don't want to... Yes. You too, Dan. You too. So, other than that, you guys have a great night, and I thank you for joining me on this Monday night's edition of Paranormal Question of the Day. And you have been watching the Paranormal Brew and the BB3 TV networks. Also, if you don't have Facebook, join us on the YouTube channel for MGS Paranormal. So they're all playing at the same time. So this is Lori over here. How do you want to put it? How live does it?
Over there.
And this is Scott.
Hi.
And I'm Darren. I bid you adieu. I'll see you all Friday.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.